What would happen if a different upper moon were sent the Mugen train instead of a Kaza? Would Rengoku make it out alive, or would he still end up as a donut? Starting off with the deadly duo, Daki and Gyutaro. After Rengoku and the Tanjiro squad defeat Enmu, things will get more in. Unlike Akaza, who wants a warrior's battle, Daki won't hesitate to launch a sneak attack because keep in mind that Daki's nature is cruel, so she won't hesitate to deliver an attack on both Tanjiro and Rengoku. However, Rengoku is there to save the day with his lightning-fast reflexes, and he defends against Daki's relentless attacks. Moving on, Rengoku instructs Tanjiro to leave the place and ensure the passenger's safety. But Daki won't let Tanjiro escape as she'll try to cut off his escape route. But Tanjiro didn't have any intention to retreat in the first place, so both of them turn to face Daki. But where is Daki's other half? Well, Rengoku spots an opening and swift cuts off Daki's head with his second breathing form. At that moment, Gyutaro emerges from within Daki's body. Seizing the opportunity, Gyutaro attempts to catch Rengoku off guard and attacks using his blood demon art. Unfortunately, Rengoku dodges this because if he could dodge the Upper Moon 3, what makes you think he can't dodge this? The battle keeps going, and Rengoku is still on the offense. As Gyutaro charges at Rengoku, they exchange blows. He's at a disadvantage, but Rengoku successfully beheads Gyutaro, only to find out that he also needs to decapitate Daki. Gyutaro regenerates, and Rengoku quickly notices that Gyutaro was only warming up. Meanwhile, on the other end, Daki targets Tanjiro, but at this moment, you should remember that Tanjiro hasn't fully mastered sun breathing or fully manifested his demon slayer mark. The only way for Daki to be defeated without Rengoku is if Tanjiro and the whole squad work together. This makes it a 4 versus 1. Keep in mind that the 3 demon slayers didn't undergo much training at this point, and Nezuko didn't get her insane power buff. While this is happening, Rengoku would be tested like never before. Rengoku would eventually be victorious against Gyutaro, however, he would take substantial poison and damage. Simultaneously, the Tanjiro squad is successful in cutting off Daki's head. However, there's a high chance that Rengoku would be on his last breath because of Gyutaro's poison. And bang, this is where the one and only Nezuko comes to save the day. Next up is the Upper Moon 5 Yoko. Following Enmu's death, Yoko shows up with his weird blood demon art that lets him manipulate his vase and summon disgusting creatures. He's like that video game boss that's impossible to hit. Just like what happened in the Swordsmith Village arc, Yoko will most likely pull the same stunt, offering Rengoku a deal to see his sick creation. But this time, it might be the past. But Rengoku is not here to play games, and he's really angry now that he saw this. He goes straight for Gyoko's neck with his blade. Too bad Gyoko dodges the attack and retreats back into his vase. Now you might think Gyoko is only good at hiding. Well, think again. Gyoko unleashes his fish monsters that spit poisonous needles. But Rengoku is not bothered by these attacks given his speed and reflex. As the fight continues, Rengoku once again charges at Gyoko using his third form Blazing Universe. However, Gyoko counters it with his blood demon art, the water prison pot, trapping Rengoku in a massive water ball just like what he did to Muichiro during the Swordsmith Village arc. Is he just gonna drown and the scenario is going to end here right now? Well, remember Tanjiro was there too, so it is possible that Tanjiro will rush towards Rengoku to help him. With Tanjiro's high IQ, he figures out that blowing air bubbles would supply Rengoku enough air to break free, or he'll just break the water prison himself. Although Rengoku makes it out from the water prison pod, there's still a chance that he'll lose since he does not have his demon slayer mark. Fueled by determination, Rengoku strikes again at Gyoko, but Gyoko summons his octopus vase, trapping Rengoku with powerful tentacles. Will Tanjiro help Rengoku escape again? Well, given the current situation and Tanjiro's injuries that he got from fighting Joko's fish monsters, Rengoku orders Tanjiro to leave the place and protect the passengers with the rest of the squad as more and more of Gyoko's creatures attack them. After that, the fight continues, and Rengoku breaks free and charges to end this once and for all. But Gyoko also prepares for a finishing blow. Gyoko forms 10 vases and uses his blood demon art, 10,000 gliding slime fish, which sounds right out of Animal Planet. Fueled by determination, Rengoku uses his second breathing form, Rising Scorching Sun. But it isn't just enough. Imagine 10,000 deadly attacks coming right at you. Not to mention the fish release a poison that's just as deadly as Gyutaro. To stay alive, Rengoku has only one option, and that is to use his 9th form to fully counter the attack. Without hesitation, Rengoku dashes towards the target and unleashes a singular devastating slash. From this point, Rengoku manages to prolong the fight until sunrise, forcing Gyoko to retreat. So this means that Rengoku would be a donut for this matchup, but he is full of injuries. Moving on, we have Han Tengu, the demon with multiple faces, and the Upper Moon 4. So how would Rengoku win this one while being outnumbered? Well, just like what happened in the Swordsmith Village arc, out of nowhere, creepy Han Tengu shows up and starts crawling towards Rengoku and Tanjiro. This will make both Rengoku and Tanjiro confused, but Tanjiro quickly realizes that this demon is an upper rank. Just like what Muichiro did, Rengoku will jump into action and try to attack with its second form, Rising Scorch Sun. And here's the crazy part. Rengoku quickly slashes with his sword and manages to cut off Han Tengu's head, but Han Tengu's blood demon art kicks in, and his head and body split into 2 separate clones. One represents anger, and the other one is pleasure. Here, the situation gets more interesting. interesting. Once again, Rengoku cuts off the head of these two demons, which causes the clone to split into two more clones. One represents sorrow, and the other one is joy. Now it's Rengoku against 4 of these emotions. Well, that's not an ideal matchup for Rengoku, as he knows he won't stand a chance. Looking back to the Swordsmith Village arc, Tanjiro and the others even had a hard time killing these demons. Going back, the clones started to attack both Tanjiro and Rengoku. The manifestation of anger, Sakido, attacks Rengoku with its lightning, while the manifestation of pleasure, Karaku, attacks Tanjiro. Rengoku manages to dodge the attack, but Tanjiro doesn't dodge. Given that Tanjiro was severely injured due to his fight with the Lower Moon 1, Karaku's powerful wind attack blows Tanjiro away, leaving Rengoku all alone. The manifestation of joy, Urogi, attempts to find Tanjiro, but the other manifestations ask Urogi to not find him and instead help them to finish the job. As the fight continues, Urogi attacks Rengoku with its sonic scream, but Rengoku's reflexes save him once again. However, Rengoku gets caught by the manifestation of sorrow, Aizetsu, who attacks him with its spear projection. But Rengoku uses his fourth form, Blooming Flame Undulation, to defend from the incoming attack. Right after that, Urogi takes Rengoku far up in the sky and drops him. Rengoku swings his blade for a good landing, but suddenly Sakido appears and attacks Rengoku with his electricity, leaving Rengoku vulnerable. Then Karaku and the others take this as an opportunity to attack. Karaku charges towards Rengoku and kicks through Rengoku's abdomen, just like what he did to Nezuko in the original series. However, this is where Tanjiro and the gang show up to the party. They save Rengoku from being killed and even make this a 5 versus 4 situation. So they decide to each handle their respective clone, with Tanjiro getting extra aid from Nezuko due to his injuries from earlier. Rengoku makes quick work of his clone. However, everyone else is struggling. Keep in mind that at this point in the series, they are not as strong as they were in the Swordsmith Village arc. Rengoku uses his flame breathing to aid the others as much as possible, but right as that happens, they decide to combine and form into Zohakuga. In a mere instant, the Upper Moon 4 knocks out everyone except Rengoku and Tanjiro. Tanjiro and Rengoku would fight with their lives on the line, however, it would be in vain. Moments later, Rengoku would take a tree trunk to the stomach, and everyone would die. Even if Tanjiro and Rengoku were to magically unlock their Demon Slayer marks, the outcome would be the same, since the power difference is just too great at that current point in the story. Also, Tanjiro would still have to sniff out the cowardly Hantengo and slash his neck, which isn't an easy task. But if you don't want to get turned into a donut like Rengoku, like and subscribe! Of course, if we're talking about it, we can't forget the flamboyant sadist Doma, the Upper Moon 2. So if he were the one that was sent to the Mugen train, the battle wouldn't last very long. However, given Doma's playful demeanor, he might not initially regard Rengoku as a serious threat. After defeating the Lower Moon 1, Doma makes his entrance. Knowing the threat of this demon, Rengoku takes the opportunity to launch an attack on Doma, and he easily dodges, but suddenly, Doma makes his move, attacking Rengoku at the back. Luckily, Rengoku manages to sense the attack and defend. Then Rengoku uses his second form, Rising Scorched Sun, slashing Doma's body. But Doma's regeneration is so insane that it takes only a second. Once again, Rengoku unleashes his third form, Blazing Universe, swinging his blade directly at Doma. Still, it wasn't enough to take Doma, as his body easily regenerated. In fact, Doma actually enjoys these attacks. The battle keeps going, and Rengoku becomes way more serious and shows more power to decapitate Doma. While Doma is still calm and in a carefree manner to the point he still teases Rengoku, but it just makes Rengoku more annoyed, and who wouldn't be? So he charges towards Doma and attacks him relentless, yet Doma still keeps effortlessly dodging the attacks. But that was until Rengoku uses his ninth form on Doma. Rengoku takes a high stance with his sword before dashing forward at high speed. Right after, it forms a flaming dragon. Unfortunately, Doma is able to counter it with his blood demon arm. So is this the end for Rengoku? Well, not yet. Hold your horses, people. As we know, Doma is one of the demons that wants to have some fun before he makes the kill. But wait, is Tanjiro here to save the day? Well, nope. Given Doma's strength and speed, Tanjiro wouldn't stand a chance against this demon, and the instant he tries to help, he'll turn into a bloody popsicle. So Rengoku orders Tanjiro to not interfere and to leave the place immediately and run with the other demon slayers and pass. With no other options, Tanjiro agrees with the order from the Flame Hashira. At that moment, Rengoku makes his last stand only to be slowly killed by Doma. Even if he stalled, Doma still had time to kill the passengers and even the demon slayers because it was nowhere near sunrise. Right after killing Rengoku, Doma will most probably follow Tanjiro. The demon slayers try to fight Doma, but they all die horrible deaths along with the pass. Now here's where things get really interesting, because we're going to talk about the Upper Moon 1. So will Rengoku be able to withstand Kokushibo's strength and power? Unfortunately, things wouldn't go very well for Rengoku, and it's really obvious. But hey, don't worry, this is just an alternative story. So let's break it down. After beheading Enmu, things are getting intense. Rengoku senses a terrifying presence, and this causes him to order Tanjiro to immediately retreat and try to save everyone. Suddenly, Kokushibo launches an attack on Rengoku, but luckily, Rengoku manages to defend this. As the fight continues, Rengoku delivers relentless attacks from Kokushibo, but Kokushibo just easily parries his attacks given his speed far surpassing that of the other upper ranks. During the Infinity Castle arc, Kokushibo effortlessly outpaced Mugen Ichiro's mist breathing techniques, moving so fast that he appeared to teleport. That's how strong he is. But with Rengoku's fiery determination and strength, he admires it and offers Rengoku to become a demon just like Akaza did. But we already know Rengoku's answer. So now, Kokushibo has a reason to eliminate him. However, Rengoku doesn't give up and unleashes the power of his flame breathing technique, his 9th form, Rengoku! With this attack, hoping that he gives enough time for Tanjiro and the others to escape. But in an instant, Kokushibo swiftly slashes Rengoku, and Rengoku instantly dies. So if he is the one who encounters Rengoku during the Mugen train, things wouldn't go very well for him or the others. This matchup is completely one-sided because Rengoku doesn't even match half of Kokushibo's power. And we can't forget that Kokushibo has enough time to kill everyone else, ending the series. He would have seen an unconscious Tanjiro with the Hanafuda earrings and got furious. Who knows, he might have kept Tanjiro and kept him alive for questioning. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video! Take a look at the video on the screen for more Demon Slayer content!